Alright, so I haven't made a video in a while, and it's because, and actually if you see these snowbanks here, we've dropped probably 2 feet of snow off what we had. You see over there in the corner, I don't know if I have another picture of that, but there's hardly any snow on that now compared to, it was like 3 feet on that before. If I showed this, got a deal on some new 31 1050s, so the old 92 sporting some 31 1050s. Got new exhaust on it. Still got a little bit of a shake or a skip when it's idling. Take it off the idle just a hair and it doesn't, and it's got good compression. I gotta take a look at that, try to figure it out. 92 doesn't require emissions, so that could be somewhere where to go. Hey, trackless snowblower still for sale. Had a lot of people look at it. Some people even saw it on the YouTube channel and then came and looked at it, but nobody with any cash. So, oh, what's missing out of here? There we go. So I started doing some welding, and I was coming up with all sorts of ideas this morning when I was up here yesterday afternoon. How do you like that suspension? On what I do with the front bolt pattern. Of course, 5.5 on the rear. It's a 9-inch. This is a 4.50, I believe, Ranger. This is a Ranger front clip. So I'm going to stay with that. I actually checked some back spacing and found out that like a late 80s to early 90s 15-inch wheel off a Ford Crown Vic or an LTD will work. And there's a bunch of other ones. He's got these ugly looking wheels on the front. I wanted to switch it over, but being I'm trying to stay budget on here, I probably won't be doing any big major changes. I'll just get some steel wheels. I plan on running steel wheels all the way around, black wheels on it. So these are coming off the back. These are the wheels that came on a 66 Ford that we had bought. So anyway, so I got most of the engine management stuff to get it running. I have a starter, have everything. There's no exhaust on it. I'll put the intake and the carburetor on it, and I have a ready to run distributor go into it. I have to replace the water pump. Water pump's bad. And I am going to run the serpentine belt setup on it, just because I got a lot of those, and they're easy to put back together, and I can run the power steering. And I got some knuckles and stuff to change this over. Just got to decide what steering wheel I want in it. Pardon the noise. So, once we get rolling anyway, this is going to be, this here I am cutting and folding in on both sides. I don't want this blunt hitting me anywhere when we run into a curb or something. And also on the inside of the truck, I'll be doing the same thing. Let's go around here. So, yeah, there's a better view right there. So right here, even though we have this here, we're going to, underneath it, I'm going to draw an angle and a line, and then I will cut this out and I will I will cut this out on both sides, and then I will fold up the bottom and weld it in. It'll help give it a little strength, and it'll also stop it from running into things. There's some work to do on the old doors. This door's been dragged on the ground a couple times when the air's out of it. She sits pretty low. Let me see, where are we in here? I put these welds in yesterday. They came out pretty good. And then I came over here and I did these. Now, I'm no professional welder, but they're definitely going to hold. Same way right there. These are all welded in on the bottom now. The bottom of the link. Nothing's tight. The airbag brackets are welded inside and out. Same with the shocks. I got to go up and I got to weld the top of the shock braces in. I was going to bolt them, but they're welded from the factory, so that's what they'll be on this. Also, I got to do some work in here. I'm going to make a plate to come down here, across, and come down, make it look a little better. It's structurally really sound. It's welded in well. It's not going anywhere, but you know, that's where we're headed. So, I'll get a little more welding done this afternoon. I had fit my dry shaft. The dry shaft fits perfect. Once I get the welding done on the back side, I'm going to go inside and start welding and getting the floor in so I can work under the dash where I can hang my pedals and get the steering in. And the goal on this is to keep picking away at it and then get my welding done, get my floors in where I want them for now. Start working on the tunnel, but I can work on the tunnel when I put it over here on the side, because I'm going to bring that 66 frame in and the motor and transmission frame, and I want to get that cleaned up, brakes done on it, motor running under its own power, and then I am going to do a swap one afternoon. I'm going to take the cab, front fenders, grill, everything off that 250 and settle on the 150 frame. And I'm debating whether I'm going to use that little rack or I'm just going to use the other Ford frame I have down back that has the 8-foot box on it. Use the 8-foot box. So it all depends what I can find. If I can't, I'm probably going to end up with a little flat rack on it for a while, even though I don't want it on there. So kind of that's where I am. I'm going to have to do some repairs on the corners here. I'm not buying anything. I'm going to fabricate it. Give her some of this. There's a hole here. I'm going to fix this. Yeah, get a good view of the 4-link. So, still got to run through the brakes on the rear of this and put new brakes on it. Handbrake cables. I'm going to make my own. I've got I got a handle I'm going to utilize to make my brake lever for my emergency brake. So, and then I got to get down to I'm going to use the Ranger booster and brake master cylinder for this truck, and possibly the pedals out of that Ranger cab too for the pedals for the truck. They look like they unbolt, so it'd be pretty nice to unbolt them and put them in. Just weld some brackets up to bolt them too, so that way everything fits. What I'll do is probably mount the booster and everything through the wall where I want it, and double plate the wall. Then I will bring the pedals and hook the pedals in where I think I want them, tack them, and then I'll make some braces for it. We'll get that's a ways down the road. Well, anyway, so the rat rod is inside. Been in this side for a couple days. Been doing some welding on it. I got to still run all the brake lines and such on that, but it'll go back on the hoist for that. I got to put the handle in, the hinges in on that door. First, got the gas tank in the back. I probably gonna pick up a gauge and stuff for this. This is out of a Mustang, so I'll probably pick the gauge up out of it, and then I'll put the sending unit on the side. I believe that's where the sending unit goes. There's a drain on here. This would be the ideal spot, but I guess I'll keep the drain where it is. So I'll come out of here with the sending unit and put the socket back in it, and then run the gas line up, and then I'm going to put a Holley fuel pump back here somewhere on one of these cross members to I might come right up in here somewhere, put it here and run a Holley fuel pump for the fuel management, and put a regulator up front under the hood. So enough rambling. I want to get to welding, and I got some places gotta do some welding here. Along the bottom here, along this side. I got this side pretty much done, so a little welding, and then I got some a little more work to do on the side. Got to pull the wheels and get this piece in here, and then I'll weld on the inside till I get them off. So we're getting close. So the welding should be done on the back half this afternoon. I can drop it down and start working on the rest. Okay, have a good one. I'll bring it back when I get something to show you, hopefully when I'm done this afternoon. Okay, thanks.